Dillashaw is one of the most aggressive and creative fighters in MMA today. It's impossible to watch his footwork without seeing the influence of many great fighters throughout history. But TJ is far from a mere imitator. He's found a way to blend the techniques of these great fighters from the past into a unique style that's all his own. This has given him an incredible ability to manipulate distance and create new angles from which to attack. TJ began his professional career with more of a ground and pound style. Like George St. Pierre, TJ likes to use strikes to set up takedowns, and then submit or knock out his opponent from a superior wrestling position. Also like GSP, Dillashaw is great at reactive takedowns, using his opponent's own movements against them. But while GSP mainly used jabs and feints to set up his takedowns, TJ uses aggressive blitzes, shifting forward to confuse and overwhelm his opponents. This footwork allows him to easily disguise his penetration step. He likes to shift into southpaw to wrap his leg around his opponents while taking them down. Over time, TJ has come to rely more on his striking than wrestling, developing highly diverse and complex footwork to set up his exchanges. TJ has mastered switch steps to shift into new stances, propelling him forward at unexpected angles. A switch step involves switching your feet and pushing off with the foot that lands first in a new direction. It does the work of two steps in one. In this clip, TJ switches from orthodox to southpaw mid-punch to take a superior foot position on the outside. Here he switch steps into an open, neutral stance and shuffles out, leaving both him and his opponent in a southpaw position. Like Tyson or Willie Pep, it's best to think of TJ as using a neutral, more open stance in addition to orthodox and southpaw. He uses this open, staggered stance for lateral movement, and as a means to more quickly move either foot forwards or backwards. In this way, he can quickly move to a more defensive position, or take advantage of possible openings. In this exchange, TJ switched steps to his left from an orthodox stance into a more neutral stance. He misses a cross, but then shuffles offline to slip a counter uppercut, and then shifts forward into a southpaw stance, connecting with the lead hook. This is how TJ is able to take advantage of openings that wouldn't be possible for a fighter only comfortable with one stance. In this clip, TJ switch steps forward from an orthodox stance into a neutral stance, pushing off to his left to change angles. He shifts forward to throw a cross from a superior southpaw position, and exits with the lead hook, again changing angles and shuffling back to a more defensive position. By the time his opponent throws his counter cross, TJ is already gone. TJ attacks from this new angle and lands a jab. He steps his foot back to the outside to land a cross from a superior position, and then a tight hook. He now shifts back out of range again into an orthodox stance. He did all of this in just a matter of seconds, and every adjustment he made put him in a perfect position for his intent at that moment. The theory behind this footwork is very close to Wonderboy Thompson's, but TJ is much more defensively responsible. One of TJ's best setups is using his neutral stance to rebound side to side. This footwork is very reminiscent of the great boxer Willie Pep. Pep would take a neutral stance and move side to side before attacking off of one of his rebounds. Pep's strategy was basically a very high-risk coin toss, leaving his opponent guessing which step would bring an attack. TJ uses this same technique in his own way to rebound to different sides of the center line. He often uses this technique to set up his devastating roundhouse kick. Here TJ switch steps into southpaw, and then rebounds off of his right foot to his left to throw his strike. In this clip, TJ switch steps into a more open stance to angle out to his left, then rebounds into a southpaw stance to land a devastating kick to the head. We'll get more into this rebound kick at the end of the video. TJ has also mastered Tyson's D'Amato shift, using it to exit exchanges or take new angles to attack offline. The D'Amato shift involves moving past your opponent's center line, and then turning to face them with your other foot now in front. In this exchange, TJ ducks under his opponent's lead hook, and D'Amato shifts right into a jab. Once TJ gets his opponent's guard up, it's easy to take him down. TJ has even mastered circling footwork similar to Muhammad Ali. Ali's footwork used cross steps and hopping pivots to make hairpin turns at high speeds. The idea is to circle faster than your opponent can turn, leaving him more forward and open to attack. TJ uses this technique to set up Superman punches and round kicks to the leg. But he's had the most success with his cross, stepping out once his opponent was open, just like Muhammad Ali himself used to do to set up his own cross. But as much as Dillashaw has evolved, he's had one strike that has been his most impressive technique from the very beginning: his rebounding roundhouse kick. TJ usually uses the rebound footwork mentioned before to get into position. He marks the distance for this strike by placing his support foot near or on top of his opponent's. His close proximity would normally jam this kind of kick, but TJ gets around this by stepping his foot in front of his hips and pulling his upper body hard to his side, bringing his leg around in a wide arc. This is a very unstable position, and when TJ misses, it usually results in him falling down. But the benefits far outweigh the risks, as TJ's position allows him to generate a lot of power and land from an unexpected angle. The opponent is just as likely to run into TJ's knee as he is into his shin or foot. To set up this kick, TJ usually feints a cross, prompting his opponent to try to slip and parry. This opens up their guard and leads them right into the path of TJ's strike. Dillashaw will also mix it up by looking down to feint a takedown or leg kick. Dillashaw is constantly adapting and adding new techniques to his skill set. TJ is set to face off against another fighter with amazing footwork and power, Cody Garbrandt. This may prove to be one of the most interesting fights in terms of footwork and pure athletic ability in a long time. Let us know in the comments who you think will win. If you'd like to learn more about how TJ puts power into his rebound kick, you can check out my book Power of the Pros, where I break down the essential techniques for power generation and striking, and show step by step how some of the world's hardest hitters put them to use. Each section comes with exclusive breakdown videos of fighters like George Foreman and Anderson Silva to help illustrate the techniques shown in that chapter. The videos will be out soon, but until they are, you can get the book itself for $5 off, and get access to the videos as they come up. I've left a link below. Thank you to everyone who's already purchased the book. I promise I'll get a paperback version up on Amazon as soon as the videos are up. For the Modern Martial Artist, this has been David Christian, wishing you happy training. By the way, you guys can expect a breakdown on Roy Jones Jr. and the marvelous Marvin Hagler next.